Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, The Magical Maven. My name is Heather and today I am doing a pick a card reading for October 2019. This is a timeless reading, so if you're watching this at a later date, then it's just for the month ahead. However, I did make this, have an October feel to it. As you can see, I have the Halloween Oracle deck that I just got recently, the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I'm going to use. So let's jump in. So I have pile 1, which has the tumbled Iolite stone. I have pile 2, which has the blue Calcite. And pile 3, which has the Peacock Ore. So if you want to pick by number or by stone, it's totally up to you. So let's jump in. And this is a general reading, so just take what resonates. Okay, so again, pile 1, who chose the Iolite? So I'm going to lay them all out, and then I'll kind of go over it, and then I'll choose some tarot cards. So from the Tarot de la Nuit, we have Justice, Judgment, and the 7 of Wands. Sorry, just trying to make sure you could see them in the view. Okay. From the Heal Yourself reading cards about what needs to be healed for the upcoming month. I don't think I mentioned this, but these are it's kind of the theme for the tarot, but we'll get into that in a minute. What you need to heal, we have Alchemy, and take off your mask. Okay. And then for the energies from the Energy Oracle cards, we have Caring Connections, Appreciation, and the second chakra, which is the Sacral, Archangel Ariel. From the Halloween Oracle, to kind of see what's beneath the surface, what are unseen forces, we have Spider, Community, and Web Weaving. And we have Hearth, Happiness in our hearts and home. And from the magical spell cards, to kind of see what you should focus on to manifest, we have Divine Guidance, Whispers from the beings who shine, let their message be clear and kind. And then we also have Safe Travel, which is keep me safe and let me roam, far away but bring me home. And then what blessings are coming in from the Blessed Be cards. We have a blessing for healing of injury or illness, a blessing to find the truth, and Morrigan's blessing of peace after battle. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so with the theme, it's kind of showing that it's like there's a balancing act going on in your life where there's things that aren't equal, and I just heard equal partnership. So, and this very well, a lot of this could be dealing with other people or in a relationship, but yeah, definitely there's things that are unbalanced in your life that you need to take charge and control of. Because I'm really being drawn to with the 7 of Wands, like it's like you have to be ready to kind of battle, and not battle and like it's just kind of like game on, like you have to kind of take charge and control over your own life to kind of get things balanced out. And the Justice card, is all about balance. Justice, you normally with Libra, and we're going into Libra season actually. And one thing about Libras is they're non-confrontational. They're more passive. So, even maybe some of you watching could be Libras or have Libra in your chart, although that, not necessarily. But if you're someone who kind of doesn't like to deal with things because it's easier, because you don't want to have to confront them, you don't want that battle, you don't want that fight, you don't want that heartbreak, you just don't want that uncomfortable talk, situation, whatever it is. So this might be like, okay, like you've been finally handed the sword and you have to kind of start, I'm getting leveling things out So, you know, be prepared to do that. Be prepared to level up. And with the Judgment, it's kind of like, I'm really being drawn, I just got this deck, by the way, to like how, see, all these people in robes are being led to the light, and how this one woman here isn't like wanting to go. And I think that's like you in this situation where you kind of know what's best for you, but maybe it's like you need to, you know, muster up that courage to go forward. So it's like, this could be like your comfort zone. So even though this is dark looking, it's like easier for you to stay where you're at, or just to do what you do, or, you know, again, you know, it's easier than having to deal with certain things, but they're not serving you. And this is where taking off your mask and alchemy comes into balance, because if you're not being your true authentic self, if you're, you know, putting on a brave face or a happy face when things aren't happy, like you're letting yourself down is what I'm getting. You know, it's like you need to not hide, you need to not be afraid. You know, like that quote, the only thing you need to fear is fear itself. Because with this alchemy, it's like you have a chance to turn things around in your favor. But again, it's really like, you know, to make a Wizard of Oz reference, it's like, you know, you had like that power all along. You know, it's like you're wearing the ruby slippers that can take you home, but instead you're not like, you know, you're looking outside of yourself, as opposed to just being like, oh, I have the power to do this. So I'm hoping this makes sense. And I think it's just, you know, it's overall energies, but it also could be about certain situations, circumstances. Again, this is a general reading, so everyone's going to vary upon their situations in their life. But this is definitely the energies that are coming through if you chose pile 1. Okay, so now getting into the energy oracle cards, you know, this definitely could be about a relationship you're in with this caring connections. And it doesn't just have to be like romantic. This could also be friends, family, you know, people you surround yourself with. And with this appreciation, you might not be feeling appreciated. You might be feeling like taken for granted. You know, you might, you know, be feeling like, but again, like some of it's your own fault, you know, not to, you know, like, I'm sorry if that's blunt, but like, if you're kind of enabling someone's behavior, you know, meaning that, you know that, I mean, pretty much if you're not speaking up and telling someone, hey, this bothers me, this hurts me, you know, this isn't, you know, fair, which was funny because, again, going back to the Justice and the Libra, you know, they're all, you know, being about fairness. You know, if you're not speaking up and you're not being your authentic self, you're not speaking your truth, like how is someone else going to know? Because if there's someone who is an authentic connection, like an actual caring connection, someone who cares about you, and you speak up, they're gonna, you know, be like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And then they're gonna change their behavior or their actions, you know, or their words, because they know that, oh, like, you know, I did, you know, like I made this person feel this way, right? However, if there's someone who doesn't have your best interest and they're selfish or they're toxic, you're going to know based on what, you know, they might tell you, oh yeah, what you want to hear, but then they just keep doing the same old shit. And again, you know, I'm just trying to break it down for you, like, you know, being blunt right here. I am a Sagittarius, so we are very honest. So if you are in these situations, this is where you have to take off your mask. This is where you have to speak your truth. Okay, and then with the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, this deals with your desires, your emotions, sexuality, you know, creativity. So again, like, you know, you might, if you're feeling like you're being taken for granted, you know, your desires and, you know, emotions are repressed because you're stuffing it down to please other people. And I'm getting people pleaser right here with the, you know, the wearing the mask. Like, yeah, your sacral chakra is going to be out of whack. And then if you're with a partner who's not taking care of your needs, and I don't just mean that sexually, you know, with the, you know, sacral chakra, and it could be that way too, but in all aspects, you know, that could be, you know, where also you're repressed. Because I'm also being drawn to, like, look how, I don't know, it's like he looks more happy than she does. I don't know, it's like, so yeah, definitely there's an imbalance. So maybe, you know, even if your partner could sometimes show they care, but it might not be. So either, you know, if this is someone who is a really caring connection, you know, maybe they just, you know, there's an imbalance, and maybe like it'll be corrected if you talk to them, and maybe they just don't realize, and then, you know, they'll start to kind of turn it around and try to heal. However, if this is someone that is selfish or toxic, they might just try to do something like to, you know, please you, or to like keep you to stick around, but then it just goes back sideways. It goes back, you know, south. So I hope that makes sense. But again, it really depends on your situation. And, you know, energy wise, you should know if someone, you should be able to tell by not just someone's words, but their actions, how they make you feel, the energy between you, like if, you know, they're an actual, is it a healthy partnership or is it toxic? And I'm not going to get into all that right now, but, you know, you just kind of have to kind of get in touch with your own truth and being, you know, and I think the first step is you speaking the truth, and then you could go from there to see what this person actually does. And if this is relating to not just a romantic partnership, you know, if this is about, you know, family or friends, it's the same thing. You know, you need to speak up. And okay, so it's interesting. So divine guidance, safe travel, spider, and hearth. I was getting something about safe haven. So it's like I'm combining safe travel and like the hearth, the happiness in our hearts and homes. So, okay, and I'm getting like sometimes with the safe haven, it could be about retreating within yourself. And this just gets you kind of deeper, you know, but you need to bring it to the surface, you know, to, again, level it out. You need to bring it out in the open. You need to bring it to the light. Again, with the spider card, with this community, this is why I'm saying for some of you, this could be about a romantic connection, but for some of you, this could be about friendships and family with the spider, the community. There could, you know, oh, and also with the webs that you weave, I'm getting something about like, there could be someone around you that is a liar, like the web of lies. Again, like this isn't for everybody, but for some of you, again, like if there's a toxic partnership, that web definitely, the web of lies. So, and that's where the divine guidance is coming in for you to be able to connect to your intuition, your higher self, to spirit, you know, whoever you divinely connect to, and try to like figure out, okay, again, is this a healthy partnership? Someone who really loves and cares for me, that I want, you know, is going to stand by my side, and, you know, I just need to speak up and then we can work through this? Or is this someone toxic who's selfish, who only cares about their needs, and who is only going to step up when they feel they're losing you, and once they have you, it's, you know, back to the same old, same old. So, and again, like same thing if this is a situation with friends, family, people in your life. You need to understand who is for you, and not to say who's against you, but I mean pretty much like if someone just cares about themselves, that's not someone you want in your life, in a relationship or a friendship, or, you know, right? So with the safe travel, I don't necessarily think it's like you going somewhere. Like it's like, this is more about safely moving away from like these toxic energies if you're in that situation with anybody. And if it's not about toxic partnerships for you, this is just about you kind of moving to more calm waters after you resolve what you need to resolve. Because again, like there's things that you need to do, and once you do them, it's just, I think you're worried about, oh, rocking the boat is what I'm getting in with. So you're kind of like, you don't know how to navigate, because again, like I know it's hard, like if you're someone that's used to sweeping things under the rug, you're used to being like more passive about things, it's going to be hard to speak up for yourself at first or bring things up, because it's not going to be natural for you. But you need to get out of that habit, out of that mindset. Okay, and yeah, and with this hearth, I'm getting that you'll be much happier once you confront what you need to. It's not going to be like so scary like afterwards. And I'm just being drawn to see how like the gargoyle is like up top. And gargoyles could look scary to some, but they're actually like a protector. And it's like, okay, it's like maybe calling for you to, you know, protect yourself and your own energy. Okay, and also I'm being drawn to like, this could be about like not allowing others to drain your light. So again, if it's toxic partnerships, someone's got to go. Okay, and then a blessing to find the truth. Again, like, what did I say about speaking your truth? You know, and because once you do that, you will get your answers based on what that person does, right? Their actions moving forward. And this is a blessing of peace after the battle. So what did I say? Once you get past it, you'll have calm, smoother waters, but you have to do it. And look how she looks pretty tough. Like, you know, she looks like a warrior goddess, but she also doesn't look like, she just kind of looks like, come at me or don't mess with me kind of energy. And it's like, I feel like that's not how you need to be, you know? And with this blessing for healing of injury or illness, I don't think it's an actual injury or illness. I think it's more about taking care of your own health and wellness and well-being. And if you've let people suck you dry, if there have been toxic people around you or a toxic person around you, or you're in a relationship with a toxic person, that is extremely unhealthy for you. So once you get out of that, you're definitely going to need healing energy. Like, look at all this green. The green is like, you know, the color of healing, because you're going to need that on an energetic level, on a spiritual level, on always, because that, you know, depending on what your situation is, I mean, you can actually develop health issues from being around someone who's draining you. You know, there's a book that I recommend to everyone called Dodging Energy Vampires. And, you know, the author, Dr. Christine Northrup, is actually a doctor as well. And she talks about how you will literally, your physical health will suffer if you, you know, allow these energy vampires to drain your energy. So that's just something for you to think about. Again, not all of you will be in that situation of toxicity. Some of you, it's literally just maybe, you know, you need to have a talk with your partner or a friend or family member, whoever, you know, this is. And, you know, things will work itself out once you speak to them. But for some of you, there's toxic energy here. So, okay, so for those of you who are dealing, I'm going to go with the toxic energy first, because, like, obviously, those of you watching who are dealing with this do need more help. You know, because it's like hard to kind of get away from that energy. Okay, so for those of you who are in a toxic romantic partnership. So for those of you who are in a toxic romantic partnership, Page of Pentacles and Queen of Swords. Okay, so I think it's funny because normally the Queen of Swords looks more fierce, and look how she looks more like, oh, here's my sword that I'm holding, but she doesn't look like defensive or like she's ready to throw down. I think you're like that. You're like, I don't know what to do with the sword here. And the Page of Pentacles is like you needing to communicate. And like once you do, will that person walk the walk, talk the talk, is what I'm getting. So yeah, it's really you need to communicate. And I'm also getting you need to get clear-headed. And if you are dealing with a toxic partner, it's really hard, because if someone's like, for example, gaslighting you, you know, you're not gonna be able to focus clearly. Okay, so again, if you're in a toxic partnership, Eight of Swords. I know it's easy to feel like bound and feel like you have no way out, you don't know what to do, but ultimately, like, it's up to you. You know, it's like you have to, are you going to try to break free, or are you just going to sit there and let yourself be taken over and be bound? Yeah, I'm still getting clear-headed, and I know it's hard to do, but like, what do you do like when you need to clear your head? What's a practice you have? Oh, Hierophant. And it's funny because they're like meditating. So yeah, definitely like getting some time, getting some space, getting clear-headed, because we live in a world of distractions. So if we're constantly on the go, we can't listen to our inner guidance or intuition, because we're just bombarded So maybe getting away, having some time, space on your own, meditating, kind of channeling your inner guidance. That's why you got divine guidance, right? Okay, and if you do this, where will you be at? If you do this work, clearing your mind. Lovers. Okay, so if you do that, it's sometimes the Lovers is about choice. So if you have this time away, this, you know, have a clear head, this space away, and you decide to unbound yourself and see the truth and speak the truth, that's when you'll have to make your choice. And again, I know, again, going back to this Libra energy, one thing Libras are known for, and not, you know, not to speak badly, you know, I mean, each sign has positive and negative traits, but one of the traits of a Libra is you could be indecisive. So again, if we're going into Libra season, there might be some of you Libras watching, or you might have Libra in your chart. You might not be someone who wants to make a decision, you know, because you're feeling like, oh, you know, like the Libra is the scales, you know, it's like, oh, should I stay or should I go? So that, again, might not be comfortable for you because you might not want to be the one to make a decision. But again, if this is a toxic person, you're going to have to do what's best for you and get out. So take what resonates, but that's for people in a toxic partnership. Okay, and then for those of you who are in a healthy partnership, it's just maybe there's an imbalance and you just need to speak your truth. The Fool. Okay, so this is like breaking new ground. So this, again, this might be something you're not used to doing. And once you do it, you're going to feel free. Like, look at her. But this could be opening a new chapter for you. Like, you know, because, let's see. Okay, so after you do this, you're feeling free, you're feeling good. Page of Swords. So this is gonna like help you be more communicative, and you're gonna, you know, look how, you know, this page is ready to like yes, I've like, it's funny because even though a page, you know, you wouldn't say as a master, but like, look how he's just ready to, like, you know, he's ready. He looks pretty empowered, right? So this is a lesson in maybe communication for you, speaking your truth, speaking your needs. And once you do it, it's going to get easier, and you're going to be able to being able to easily receive what it is you're wanting and get what it is you're wanting. Okay, I'm getting something about, okay, a past error. So for some of you, there might be something in the past that maybe blocked your throat chakra, blocked you from speaking your truth, made you put on this mask. But that's something you have to let go of. But yeah, this definitely, because the Knight of Wands and behind it was the Four of Wands. So there might have been something in the past. Maybe there was some like issue, like, or circumstance in the past where you spoke your truth and it was this huge fight, blowout, disagreement, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do that again. So that could be for some of you something that had happened before that's blocking you. But again, it's like underneath it, getting past it, is this Four of Wands energy. These good, happy times. And again, it's like for some of you, this could be about friendships, family, because look how it's more of like a community here, just like with the Spider card. And then the ones that fell down were Ten of Cups, Magician, and Nine of Pentacles. So also I'm getting too, for some of you, you have to learn to balance between like having time for yourself and having time for the people that you love and want to be around. Because it should never be one way or the other. It's like, you know, it's like you should have a balance. Again, what did I say in the very beginning? It's all about balance for you. You have imbalances. So if you're someone that doesn't like to spend time alone, you're always around others, you know, you need to have some you time. And vice versa, you know, but I'm getting more so for more of you, it'll probably be more this energy that, you know, you're around other people. And sometimes it might be like too where you might not even want to be around other people, but people like ask you to do things and you don't want to say no, or, you know, like you know, they invite you and you just go along with it. So you don't always have to say yes. You don't always have to be with people. Like, you know, it's like you have to have, again, this balance. Like, don't be afraid to say no. Okay. Okay. Okay, so are there any other imbalances? Whoa, that one flew out. Four of Cups. Yeah, you could be like, normally this is like the card of discontentment, of boredom, but he looks more like regretful almost. You know, in each tarot deck, the cards have different illustrations, right? But, you know, I choose different ones for each reading, and then I kind of also look into the card. So, again, like, you might be someone that kind of looks to the past a lot, and you have to kind of clear that energy out. That's part of the imbalance, too, because if you're looking at the past, you can't see what's in front of you, what's around you. You need to be more in the now, be more present. Queen of Pentacles. So I was asking in my head, what can you do to help with this? So you need to ground your energy, because Pentacles is earth energy. So you might need to ground your energy, you know, get out in nature. I'm also getting spend time alone. Like, if you like reading a book was one thing that came through. You know, again, spending some you time. And I like how, you know, she's surrounded by cats. So, you know, being around animals too, you know, it's just like you need some time away maybe from others. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, especially if you're someone that's sensitive to energy, for instance, you need your alone time. Okay, so any last messages for my pile number 1 people about October 2019 or the month upcoming ahead? Ace of Swords, the Tower, and the High Priestess. So, again, it's funny because with the divine guidance and about your intuition, and you have the High Priestess. So connecting to your higher self, your intuition. The Ace of Swords, I was getting like, you know, about victory being yours. And I've also, like, remember when the Fool came out about like this new beginning where you're able to speak your truth. And I love how in this, it's like all blue, and blue is the color of the throat chakra, which deals with your speaking your truth. And then like this Tower, you know, people sometimes get afraid of this card because things come crumbling down, but it's like, look how she's just like, yep, I let it, you know, just come crashing down, and I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. And that's how you need to be. Like, whatever doesn't serve you, once you speak your truth, you take off that mask, you know, you go, you know, like you fight these battles that you need to fight. Again, I don't mean like fighting, you know, physically. Like, then, you know, you're going to be much better off, because then you're able to like clear out old outworn energies, bring new energies in. So again, whether that's, you know, people are gonna, you know, once you speak your truth, take off your mask, they're gonna, you know, honor you, stand beside you, like, you know, realize, you know, to appreciate you, to have, you know, be grateful, to treat you better, whatever the situation is. Or if they're toxic, you're gonna be able to get, you know, get rid of them and get away from that bad juju. And again, it's not I'm not gonna say it's an easy process, because it's not necessarily, and everyone's situation is different, but I love how she looks so confident in this with the Tower. So this could be you. What needs to come crashing down that doesn't serve you, so you could build and start anew? Okay, so that is for my pile number 1 people. So if you liked this video, if this resonated, feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment, And we are going to move on to pile number 2. Wow, okay, that was a longer reading than I intended for pile 1, but I guess there was a lot going on there. And again, like, everyone's situation is going to be different. It is a collective reading. If you feel this didn't resonate, or, you know, didn't make sense, or there was another pile you felt drawn to, I would check it out, you know, just to see. Because again, like, for you, you have to listen to your intuition, and you might not be really connected to it right now. So, I mean, and if that's you, definitely, then pile 1 would probably resonate. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pile number 2. So if you chose pile 2 or the blue calcite, this reading is for you. So we have from the Tarot de la Nuit, we have Tower, Strength, 10 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Swords. From the Heal Yourself cards, we have Discover Your Life Purpose, Patience, the Energy Oracle, we have Angel of Love, Cornucopia, and Angel of Balance. From the Halloween Oracle, we have Lady de los Muertos, Acceptance and Equality, and Ancestors, the Love and Legacy of our DNA. From the Magical Spell cards, we have Safe Home, I Cast the Circle Round About, Safety Now is Beyond Doubt. And Magical Powers, I weave and clear, I cast and know, magical secrets to me now show. And from the blessing of your blessings for the Blessed Bee deck, we have blessing on your intuition, a blessing on a battle that cannot be avoided, and a blessing on a journey. Okay, I just want to say one thing real quick. If you were drawn also to pile 1, I would check it out because there are some similar messages. So I just want to throw that out there. But getting into your reading for pile number 2. So for October 2019, or if you're watching this at a later date, your upcoming month. So this is your theme with the tarot cards. So with the Tower, Strength, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. So the 4 of Swords was the one that first came out. So it's showing that you're needing this rest. Like you're needing, like you're overburdened, you need this time out. And typically the 4 of Swords card looks, this one looks a little like, I don't want to necessarily say sad, but like it looks kind of more like you're really needing some healing is what I'm getting. But again, it could be something that is just cleared up once you take more, like, better care of yourself. And, you know, even if you say, oh yeah, like I do take care of myself, I eat healthy, I work out, but that's not the only ways. That's just physical health. Like I'm also talking, and you know, you're, you know, mentally, emotionally, you know, energetically, spiritually. And I think it's like there was something that you were probably trying to work on with this 10 of Pentacles. You know, maybe you're trying to create, you know, your life, you know, your career, you know, with your job or with your stability, with your money. And it's like there might have been something that kind of came out of nowhere with this Tower card. And it's interesting how this Tower card, the Tower isn't crashing down, it's just the Tower standing there. So there might be like some obstacle or something in the way, and it's caused you to like reevaluate and re-examine things, and to have like some, you know, strength and courage to go forward, where you thought maybe you were going to get your blessings, you thought something was going to pan out, and maybe it didn't, or maybe it hasn't yet. And it's kind of, maybe that's, you could be also retreating with this 4 of Swords because, you know, you're, oh, and I'm getting like something like lost time, and that's funny with the clock. So there might be things that you're kind of like mulling over in your head, and it's like when you actually go to like relax and rest, or you go to sleep at night, this is all like draining you and consuming your energy and your time. So if this makes sense, this is kind of, again, this is a month ahead. So whether you're in this energy now or it's something that could be coming in the future, again, like you know, if you know this ahead, okay, there might be some roadblock, there might be something that comes up, but just standing strong, standing in your power, not getting in this Four of Swords energy of, you know, regret or doubt or fear or frustration, you know, making sure you're nurturing yourself, taking care of your health in all ways to continue to like create what it is you're wanting. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then with the heal yourself, you have patience. So again, I'm getting like Rome wasn't built in a night kind of thing. And it's funny, again, with the Tower. So it's like, if you're trying to manifest something, you're trying to create something and it's not happening, and that's where you're getting that frustrated or you're starting to give up hope, it's saying, no, you need to have patience. That could also be your lesson in this too, partly. And with the discover your life purpose, this makes sense why this is something maybe career-wise or something you're trying to build. And maybe like for those of you, like this is something that is your life's work. This is something you feel passionate about. However, there might be some of you, so this could, you know, again, take what resonates. It's a general reading. There could be some of you who has not yet done this. Like maybe you know, but like you've kind of played it off. You know, you're kind of like, no, that's just a hobby or that's just a dream. And maybe that's why you're in this energy, because you are creating something else that you shouldn't be creating, because you should be creating what your life purpose is. So again, take what resonates. Some of you this is your life purpose you're creating, and it's just something, you know, a lesson in patience, something you're having to re-examine. But for some of you, this is about you're creating things or you're building a life on something that isn't the authentic you, that isn't for your highest path and purpose. And, you know, you just kind of keep like, again, like I'm getting playing off or disregarding your guidance, your, you know, what you really feel you called to you. And that's why you feel discontent, because you could have all the 10 of Pentacles you want. You could, you know, and you're not going to be fulfilled or happy because it's ultimately not, again, you know, the real you, your life purpose. It's just going to be like, oh, yeah, I have money, I have a great job, I have a great career, you know, but I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled. So again, like you need to think about, if this isn't what you're wanting to do, then that's why you feel this way. Okay, also there might be some of you watching this, again, collective reading, so there's different scenarios. There could be some of you who have not found this yet. You're not really certain of what your life purpose is. And maybe you gave up patience with trying to figure it out, or, you know, or maybe you haven't tried, but you're just kind of like, you know, you might have like a energy where you just want to, like, you want it now, you're a go-getter, and you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to do this because this seems like I'll be successful at, or this seems like it would pan out. And then you do it, but then again, you're not fulfilled despite what you could receive. And it's because you're not taking the time to go within to figure out what it is you're wanting. Okay, so that's part of it. The next part, so looking into the energy oracle cards, this is why I said maybe look at pile 1 if you felt drawn to it, because pile 1, there was like a balancing that needed to happen, and you ended up getting the Angel of Balance. Again, like, it doesn't surprise me, because we are going in, if you're watching it, you know, now in September 2019 or in October 2019, we're going into Libra season. So Libra is the scales, you know, about balance. Okay, so there might be a balancing act you need to do as well. And I'm getting something about manifesting hope. Because with this cornucopia, it's like, okay, again, going back to like those of you who aren't going at your life purpose, whether you know it or not, it's like you're not obtaining this because, again, you are like choosing a different path than what you should be. And again, for those of you who are choosing your path and it just hasn't happened yet, it's like this is kind of like around the corner and you feel like it's like eluding you, but it's not. It's just like there's still more at play, there's still more to come. And I like how, like, in this too, I'm being drawn to how it looks like the harvest. And actually today that I'm filming is on the first day of the fall equinox. It's September 21st, so, you know, Mabon, it's, you know, the harvest, so that's interesting as well. And the Angel of Love. So Again, I'm thinking this isn't so much about romantic relationships or love. I feel this is really about your heart's desire and what's going to make you feel fulfilled. And I think, you know, and look how she doesn't, even though she's the angel of love, she doesn't really look so happy or fulfilled if you look in her face. So I think that's maybe what is going on here. So it's either, you know, you're working hard and you just haven't gotten your due yet, you know, like what, you know, what you're haven't achieved or haven't come to this yet, or there's something that's happening and you feel like you're not going to get this, but it's just a matter of timing. Or again, like it's like you're not doing what you should be doing, or you're not trying to figure out what you should be doing, and then you feel this sadness and, you know, you feel unfulfilled. Okay, so then we're gonna go over here. Okay, so some of these cards were kind of like pile one, so that's why I said, you know, so far this wasn't like it, but, you know, not to keep going back to that, but I just find it was interesting. There were certain cards that were similar. So with your blessing coming in, it's a blessing on your intuition. So if you are not clear about your life's purpose, or, you know, you kind of have an inkling, but you're not sure, this is maybe where you're going to get more of your clarity if you allow yourself to connect to your higher self, to your intuition. And part of that is going to, like, maybe there might be some tough lessons, and that's maybe where the Tower is coming in. And it's because, and I'm getting with this journey, it's not actually about traveling or journeying. It's more of like journeying into yourself. Like, and I'm getting like that motion of like going within. So it's like I'm getting about like this journey within yourself, your soul, and kind of bringing that about. And bringing that about is this blessing on a battle that cannot be avoided. It's like the battle within. This is all like internal. It's not about external with this journey and this battle that cannot be avoided. This is like within. Yeah. So like, don't be afraid to like go within yourself. And I mean, maybe when you do that, there might be, yeah, some things that I'm getting like, I don't know why I'm getting deep and dark. And I don't mean dark. When I say dark or darkness, I never mean like evil. I mean like we all have shadow aspects and shadow selves and, you know, wounds, things that we need to heal from, right? You know, we're all human. And I think maybe you're afraid to go within and do that work. And you might be afraid to discover what's there. But it's like, okay, what's on the other side of that? Well, this, right? And with the safe home, I'm getting more of that about this being within yourself. And I'm being drawn to like the circle and being like whole. And with this magical powers, I'm getting more, again, like this is more regarding your intuition. Because it's, oh, and it says magic secrets to me now show. And it's like, and if you're like, okay, I'm not intuitive, okay, we all have intuition. It's just whether or not we choose to listen to that intuition. And we choose to, you know, it's like anybody, yeah, could listen to their intuition. It's just whether you choose to disregard it, you choose to tap into it, you choose to like acknowledge it. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm just saying that like, even if you feel like you're not intuitive, you have intuition. Okay, and then with the Halloween Oracle, I asked like unseen forces, things you need to be aware of. So what I'm getting is that some of this could definitely be about wounds in the family and your, you know, ancestors. Because when it comes to DNA, like we carry our ancestors and family's DNA. So whether we know of things or not, if someone in our family experienced some trauma, you know, or there's something that needs to be healed, some kind of wound in the family, it's passed down until someone heals it. So this is what's happening. So there might be like in the family, maybe no one has ever stepped out of like that conventional way of life. You know, they, you know, maybe you know, it's like, so for you kind of stepping out to do something different, that, you know, you're using your intuition and going to your life purpose and you're doing something that's different, could seem very extreme because the whole family mentality could have been the other way. And it's not to say that, you know, whether, you know, everyone in the family still has that mindset or not. Even if they don't, it could just be something still in your DNA that you need to like heal, that needs to be transmuted, is, you know what I mean? And that's where, and it's like, okay, you might be afraid like that you won't be accepted if you take a chance. Again, for those of you who aren't, you know, working on what it is you feel is your calling. And that's maybe where you're like, you know, hiding. You like, I'm getting like you're putting on a show and you're trying to like live the conventional life, but it might not be for you. But again, like not everybody, it's just maybe some people watching. And some of this too is like, okay, some of you I'm getting that you need to go through a death. And I don't mean like a physical death. I mean like an ego death or like a dark night of the soul or some kind of like, there's things that maybe need to be completed or like filtered out or completed, you know, again, like, yeah, they're like, whenever there's an ending, there's a beginning. So like when you see the death card in tarot, it's not about a death, it's about an ending. It's about change. But when there's an ending, there's a beginning. So don't fear this. So it's like, there's these changes you need to make within yourself. But then you're clearing the karma, the ancestral karma. You're healing those family wounds. And that's very powerful work. So, and I mean, I think for a lot of you, like obviously you have important work to do here to get your life purpose. And then like with this ancestral healing. So most of you watching could be healers and or light workers that, you know, you're the one to heal things in your family line. You have an important purpose to do. But it's like, are you going to answer the call? Are you going to do it? And again, for those of you who are already doing it, good job. But like, you still need to like not be in this energy of doubt or remorse if something, you know, if you hit like a snag or a delay, or, you know, you have to re-examine things and go things a different way. Okay, and I'm getting about something like, again, like maybe you might have to go through like some kind of ego death yourself or some dark night of the soul, and maybe that's what you're even going through with this energy. And it's like, I'm getting like there's like something that it'll cost you, but sometimes like, yeah, maybe there is a price, you know, like to pay for choosing our own path or healing, and are you willing to pay that price is what I'm getting. So it's like something you have to ask yourself. And sometimes what we think, like what we're afraid to let go of, once we let go of it, we're fine with. It's just sometimes, again, about like being comfortable. And that was something I talked about on like pile 1. You know, if we're in our comfort zone and we don't want, it's, you know, sometimes hard to get out of that, right? And that totally makes sense. Okay, so a lot of different messages in pile 1, but still there's certain similar things. So again, if you feel drawn to that, you might just have like a longer reading because you might be going through multiple things. But this is definitely more about life path, purpose, career, building, securing your future, you know, getting in touch with your intuition, balancing, you know, healing, you know, some wounds, you know, within yourself, within the family. Okay. And I'm being like asked to tell you don't be scared. And it's funny because I'm getting like, don't be scared, and I'm getting like this image of like covering someone like around with a blanket, like I don't know, you know, or like, you know, putting the arms around. So, you know, don't be afraid by this. If you're like, you know, because if this energy hasn't happened and you're like, oh no, like you know, what's going to happen? Like things have been going well. Why is this going to happen? Why, you know, if you're getting freaked out, don't do that to yourself. It's just, at least if this does occur, you're going to be prepared. You're going to know like, okay, I was already aware of this and I know I need to be patient. I know I need to stick to my life purpose. I need to be balanced. I need to connect to my intuition. I need to, you know, make sure if there's any shadow aspects of myself coming through, you know, if there's something coming up and it's not my energy, like, is this from family? You know, it's like, again, just, you know, this is guidance to help you get through the next month, right? Because with readings, they, you know, it's never meant to, you know, scare anyone, or, you know, it's like, you know, I've done a lot of events, and, like, you know, like I said, with the death card, some people fear it because they're like, oh my God, they think it's a physical death. So don't fear what I'm saying. You know, take this as, again, this is how to help you, to guide you if this does occur. And again, this could just be like inner, like with this tower, it doesn't necessarily have to be external. This could be your tower moment. This could be like, again, something within that you're dealing with. It doesn't always have to be an external thing. So again, the message is, don't be freaked out. Three of Cups and Ace of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Wands, again, like, you know, this is your career, something you're working on. And the Three of Cups, it's like, I think it's cute. Like, I'm seeing how there's these cats in the background. There's one that has its paws up. It's like high-fiving you. So I feel like it does show this happy energy of celebrating. There is cause to celebrate. So again, for those of you who are already working on this, you know, don't doubt this. Know that, you know, there is going to be a success coming. Celebrate how far you've come. Again, for those of you who aren't there yet, know that this is in the cards for you if you start working on this, you know. And also I'm getting that some of you, like, you know, do have a support system, you know, whether family or friends, you know, those around you. It's like if you're, you know, I don't know, I'm like, if you're feeling troubled, I don't know, like, I'm getting that you do have maybe, you know, people around you, at least one or two people around you, like, that maybe help ground you or bring you back, like, to reality when, you know, you're feeling unsure. Again, take what resonates. Okay, so for those of you who are working on your life purpose, tell me more about what's happening. Okay, that's a lot. Just maybe a couple, please. So for those of you working on your life purpose, and there's this tower, this Four of Swords, is this internal? Is this external? And I'm getting, in my head, it's going to vary. Knight of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so I think for some of you that are already working on your life's purpose, I think it's just like, it's taking time to manifest, taking time to develop, because the Pentacles energy, the earth energy, is more slow moving, but it's steady and it's grounded, right? It's stable. And like, see how he's on the broom, but he's not taking off necessarily. Like, he has his foot up, but he's not necessarily going. So I think maybe for some of you, you're just kind of worried that that might not happen because things are slow moving. And this is exactly why you're getting patience. So for some of you, you might even be doing this to yourself. It's not even like anything going wrong. It's just like you are already like taking despair and defeat. And again, like, that's normally the Four of Swords is normally about like rest and relaxation. It's not defeat necessarily like Five of Swords is, but I'm getting more of that from that card for you. So again, for some of you, it's nothing wrong is happening. It's just you are doing it to yourself mentally and emotionally. Okay, yeah, that's too many. Okay, so for those of you who know your life's purpose, but you just aren't feeling clear on it, Three of Pentacles. Okay, I am hearing the time is now. So for some of you, you might actually be like artists, or like you're trying to create something, but you might, and again, I don't always go by what the card means. I go by what I'm getting. I mean, though in here, you know, there, you know, obviously there's paint, like a paintbrush and paint. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, okay, that's what I was getting. Okay. So for some of you, you might be afraid to show what you've been creating or what your work is, Like it might be an anxiety thing where like you don't feel it's good enough. Like you're afraid to show your creations or your work or what you're doing. There's some aspect where you're not wanting to fully like embrace that part of yourself. So what can you do to help with that? And I heard stay out of your head. 6 of Cups. Okay, so to help with that, it was showing like, okay, with the 6 of Cup energy, there might have been someone who inspired you before. But this person, either maybe they're not in the picture anymore. So it could be like some heartache there because it's this like past, it's like the sweet sadness of like a fond memory and they inspired you, but they're maybe not there anymore. But again, like I think for some of you, you do have people around you, but it might not be this particular person. And it could have been possibly, not for everybody, but it could have been a romantic partnership. It could have even been like a young love. Because I'm being drawn to how like young she looks in here. Okay, and also this, it might just be for like very few of you or one of you, I don't know. But like some of you too, like I'm getting more of like a dad-daughter connection. Not in a weird way, but like it could have been like maybe, you know, your dad was your biggest fan and supporter and maybe like he's not around, maybe he had passed on. Again, that could just be one person. Because I'm not getting that's for most people. I just think that there's someone that needs to hear that. But again, like if you had someone who inspired you, who was like, and they, you know, they're not in the picture anymore and maybe you feel like unsure of yourself, but they were always sure of you. And it, oh my God, and I'm getting some sadness right now. Like I'm feeling it, and like, so I don't know if some of you, like when hearing this, are gonna like start to get teary-eyed or cry, because I'm literally feeling like a sadness right now. Like I almost want to cry, but like I know, like it's weird. So if that is you, like again, like this is obviously heading home because this message is for you. So for those of you who don't know your life's purpose and you feel like you're like lost in the shuffle, you're like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, Heather. Okay, so for those of you who don't know like your life purpose, okay, I'm just going to take the top 2 because there was a lot, and I'm going to clarify with some others. So the 8 of Cups and the 10 of Swords came up. So what is to clarify this? Okay, Page of Cups. Oh my God, it's interesting because again, we get like the painter. So some of you could very well be painters or artists. And maybe that's your purpose. So if you are artistic, that might be something for you. A path for you. Okay, so the 10 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. So there is some kind of cycle that needs to close. So if you don't know your life purpose, it's because you're actually probably right on track, because there's things that need to be closed out before you can move forward. And it's interesting because with this 10 of Swords, typically the guy is just laying on his stomach with the swords and is taking it. But in this, I love how he's like reaching for his broom. He's trying to like, he's like, doesn't, you know, he's like, no, okay, it's the end, but it's not the end. I'm not going down like this. So I like how there's that energy of like, okay, no, I'm going to like try to get out of here. I'm not going to just, you know, take it. And with the 8 of Cups, definitely moving on. It's like, okay, like, I'm ready, you know, to move on. And with this Page of Cups, so there might be some news coming your way in some shape or form. There might be something that you see that inspires you. So you could even, you know, if you're not someone who's, you know, a painter, you know, I'm going to poet or something creative, or it could be something like that creativity wise that you see that inspires you and you decide to do something with it. So for those of you who aren't naturally creative, there might be something creative, like some kind of art or something that could inspire you and you're like, oh, I want to do that. So yeah, there might be like, and I'm getting in the universe might be nudging you. They might be showing you signs. So it could even be subtle messages, like whether you hear a conversation in passing, you see a billboard, you hear a song, you know, there's going to be maybe like signs and synchronicities that come through for you. Okay. So, and then for everybody in who picked pile 2, any last messages? 4 of Cups. Very interesting because the pile 1 got this card too. So 4 of Cups is normally discontentment, boredom. But in here, like, look how he has, like, some regret. There's, you know, like, and then he's holding his head. So it's like, and, for, you know, you, again, like, getting out of your head. Like, you literally give yourself probably headaches. You worry yourself sick. So it's like you need to stop. Oh, and also I'm getting for some of you, and not again, like this could be very few of you, if some of you turn to like, you know, the bottle or to the drink to like get out of your head, it's showing that that's like not gonna help you. You know, it's like you have to solve your problems in a healthier way. Does that make sense? Okay, so any last message for this 4 of Cups? Yeah, really getting out of your head. And I'm getting that's like your biggest enemy. It's not like, it's like you are blocking you. And again, like for, it's a general message. I mean, however, there could be outside forces, but I think for the most part, a lot of you, this is more like internal. And King of Swords and 9 of Pentacles. And I'm getting something about who told you were wrong. So this King of Swords energy, there could have been like, again, it's not for all of you, but there could have been some authority figure, someone telling you like, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. So again, some of you have like this person that was like inspiring and who believed in you, but for some of you, and you could have had both figures in your life. You could have someone who was like more like, no, was more stern. And maybe there was someone that was like always like, you need to work hard and like didn't, you know, believe in like taking downtime or self-care. And they didn't, you know, and they're like, had this just mentality of like, but it's saying no, like you do need to like have that balance. You need to have that time for yourself. And again, for some of you, that could just be about the voice in your head that tells you, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. Again, with the swords, the mental energy. So take what resonates, but that is for my pile number 2, people. So if this resonated, you know, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. And if you didn't feel like this resonated, I mean, you could always, you know, choose another, you know, pile if you felt called to it. Again, it's a general reading, so, you know, not every time, you know, will things always match up exactly. I mean, it definitely could, but I do have other videos out there if you do want to check them out. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pile number 3. If you chose the Peacock Ore or pile number 3, this message is for you, or this reading is for you. So from the Tarot de la Nuit, we have the Hierophant, the Star, and the 8 of Wands. And I just heard fire energy. And the wands are, you know, associated with the fire element, but. Okay. So from the Heal Yourself, we have Soulmate, Cycles, and Courage. And I'm just getting, I keep hearing break the cycle, so I just like to say what I say when I comes to mind, because those messages could come in so fast. I mean, there's more that's going to come through, but I'm going to share as I lay them out, and then I'm going to do the reading. So from the Energy Oracle, we have Happy Family, Financial Constraints, Door to Value, and the Sun. Okay, and also I'm getting like, I'm hearing I love you, so definitely for some of you, like with the Soulmate card, there's someone that maybe does want to say they love you. So just to let you know. And it also could be vice versa, that you love someone and you want to tell them. Okay, from the Halloween Oracle, we have Jack-O-Lantern, Protection, We have Night Song, Hidden Talents, and the Cauldron, Synergy and Healing. And then from the magical spell cards, we have Fertility, Let All Take Root, Seed and Sprout, Let New Life Be All About. And then we also have Harvest, As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest, I am ready to receive my all. So very interesting that the Fertility and then the Harvest came out. So from the Blessed Be cards, we have a blessing on your love, and then a blessing for a mother, and a blessing of forgiveness. So very interesting. So obviously, as you could tell so far, we have some themes of romantic partnership and love, as well as money, you know, and so let's get in. So from the themes, with the Hierophant, the Star, the Eight of Wands, and I feel like things are being, for October 2019, or for the next month, if you're watching this later, it's like there are things that, like with this Hierophant, the universe is clearing out of your pathway. It's like, even though it doesn't show up new beginning, I'm getting like a brand beginning in a sense of like, there's this fresh energy, and I'm seeing like this light just clearing the path, and like, and that's where like the Star and the Eight of Wands, and it's like, and I'm getting like, right now I'm hearing like perseverance. So it's like, keep doing what you're doing, keep going with the flow, because it's like, I'm getting also some of you could be about ascending to a new level. So if, you know, you are a spiritual healer, a light worker, it's like there might be things that that is like taking you to the next level, energetically, spiritually. And for some of you, this is about this partnership, obviously, because this is a theme, but it's like, and maybe once this energy is clearing and you're going forward and you're like, your energy is leveling up, you're ascending, this is where this soulmate energy is coming in. And this is why this soulmate is coming in, because this is going down. So I hope that makes sense. So with the soulmate, there is, for a lot of you, I mean, okay, it might be 50-50 is what I'm getting. Some of you already know this person, some of you don't know this person. So for those of you who know this person, there are cycles that need to complete between you two. There needs to be something that closes for you to have a new beginning, a new chapter to open, new fresh energy to move forward. And it is going to take courage, it's going to take faith, because there might have been some dark times there, and when I say dark times, I mean there could have just been a lot of wreckage that had happened before. And it's like you have to kind of, to move forward, you have to kind of clear out the past energies. And for those of you who this is someone new, it's like maybe you kept attracting karmic partners, and you have completed a cycle in your last partnership or whoever you had been with to kind of close out. You know, you learned your lessons, you healed, and you're ready to actually attract in a soulmate, like a harmonious union, a healthy partnership, as opposed to just karmics or toxic relationships. So some of you, yeah, it's like, okay, this is new, this new person's coming in because you've completed the cycle. You also need to have the courage to move past that cycle. So that could be something that comes up. There might be like, I just heard like dodging bullets. So there could be situations where there could be a karmic or karmics trying to come in, or toxic, like a person trying to come in and come at you, and you just have to make sure you've learned the lesson and have the courage to say no. Like, no, not this energy, not this time. I've completed the cycle, I've learned my lessons, I'm moving on. And I'm moving strong, is what I was getting to. So if you have the courage to do that and the faith to do that, then, you know, the soulmate is coming in. And that's, again, where this, you know, raising your vibration, raising your energy, leveling up, you know, this universe clearing this pathway for you, this bright new beginning that's going to, you know, things that are going to take off. And I'm getting something about like finally seeing your light. So you could be someone too, like, that maybe you don't recognize how special you are, or the light that you have and the love you have to share. And then for those of you who this is someone you already know, again, this could be like, there could be cycles not only like between you two, but there could be like a cycle that you're going through closing out on your own and they're closing out on their own, and then you're coming together and trying to close something out, you know, to complete a cycle to move forward together. So yeah, definitely a lot of things shifting. And with this happy family, it's like, okay, like for some of you it's showing, yeah, you're definitely going to, whether you know this person or not, have this happy family if that's what you're wanting. You know, if you're really wanting to settle down and have, you know, kids and the white picket fence and all that. And, you know, not to say you need to have white picket fence if you have a family, but I'm just saying, you know, like that American dream kind of thing, you know. Everybody has their own idea of what is, you know, your dream, what makes you happy. Because for some people, like, you know, everybody, that's going to be different, right? So for some of you that, you know, it might not be kids, it might just be you two together. It might be you and your family of animals, of dogs, of cats, whatever, you know. It's like, it's just, you know, you have to live by your own code, by your own rules, by what makes you happy. And I think that, like, you've discovered that if you hadn't already known, and then it's like you're both wanting to, you know, create this together. Okay, so with the financial constraints, there's different messages coming through. So some of you could have had money troubles. Someone could have, like, possibly, like, this could be you or this could be them, but someone could have, like, dried someone up financially where it's like, oh, there's nothing left kind of thing. So again, this isn't going to be for everybody, but there could be someone like you were dealing with or they were dealing with, if it was like you lived together or you were married and you got divorced. But again, it's not for everybody. Just take what resonates. But for some of you, it definitely could have been like, there could have been like financial reasons why you weren't, you know, moving forward together. And for some of you, if you don't have financial actual like issues, it could just be maybe you've had like a lack mentality. And maybe that lack mentality has transferred into different areas of your life and you're trying to get past that. You know, it's like, oh, I have a lack of love, a lack of money, a lack of security, whatever, you know, and it's like, and that's something too, like with this financial constraint, because, you know, money, it's like a security thing. So maybe there could be security issues with this person of like trust. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to mean money. It could be about your security and stability, and like now you're finally going to have security and stability with this person. So if it's new, again, it's going to be different than your past, because it's like, okay, like this is actually a soulmate, someone you could build something, a stable, secure, healthy partnership with, as opposed to like these karmics or toxics that were just for your growth, your soul lessons, something you need to heal within yourself. And then if this is someone from the past that's coming back in, you know, that you've closed a cycle, you're ready to move forward, but you want to make sure that you're not bringing in this old energy of feeling you're not secure within each other. With the door to value, again, like if there's that lack mentality, or if there were issues before financially, it's showing, okay, there's a door opening to bring in this abundance. So if you're worried about money, don't, because things are coming to you. But again, you have to be ready to receive. So are you going to grab this money? And I'm being drawn to how like there's the key hanging. So there's these coins and this money, but then there's also this key. So sometimes, you know, it's like, okay, like if we have the key, but if we don't unlock the door. So again, it's really like some of this is about mentality, or, you know, it's about like limitations that aren't necessarily there. But again, with the sun, like, you know, it's like, okay, the sun people say is like the most positive card in the tarot deck. And this is an energy oracle deck, but they have the sun card. So like, look how this is beautiful and life's abundant and cheery and sunny. And again, like there is a baby here. So for some of you, it definitely could be that you could, with this soulmate, have a child or kids with in the future. And I'm not saying, you know, right away, I'm just saying like this is something you could possibly have in the future with them. But again, it's all very positive. Like with this constraints, again, whether this was real or not, you know, you're still gonna have things are going to. I mean, it's about like, I don't know why I'm hearing like something about saving the day. So there could be things like opportunities or situations that come out of the blue, out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa, that really like helped me, that saved me. And so, and then also like, look, it's like this is what you needed to focus on. So it's like you've already put down certain roots, and there's things you've already done that, you know, you've rooted, you've seeded, you sprouted, and then it's like now you're going to get this harvest. So if you planted seeds before but you didn't see any signs of it manifesting or coming about, it's showing no, things are going to be ripe for the picking. You know, you're going to get your harvest, but you have to be ready to, like, what you've put your time and energy towards, you have to make sure that, oh, you're actually going to receive them and you're open and ready to receive. So it's like, I feel like it's, again, it's like a lot of stuff, work you've already done. You've already laid the groundwork to have this soulmate partnership, to have this abundance coming in, to have this happy life coming in. So it's like, are you going to be like open and ready to receive and put your hands out? It's like, and I'm getting like, don't shut the energy down. It's like, I hope that makes sense. Okay. And then with the Halloween Oracle, I used it to see what are the unseen forces. So with this protection, okay, for some of you I'm getting about, this is like, you don't need to protect yourself, meaning against the soulmate. Because if you were used to attracting, again, karmic partners, toxic partners, you should be able to know the difference between a karmic or someone who's toxic versus, you know, like something that would be a healthy relationship or a soulmate relationship. The energies will feel different. So you don't need to protect yourself, because you should already know, like, okay, this is different than what it was before, or this is different than my other partners before. So you will know if someone's right for you or not. Again, I said some of you, yeah, might have to dodge some bullets and realize, okay, no, shoot, like to certain people, but are like a, you know, someone who's interested in you. So yeah, there's going to be, you know, maybe that protection, but you don't want to have your guard up. Like, you want to be like, you want to recognize what is there, what feels right and what doesn't, but you also, you can't like be so protective of your energy, and you don't want to like scare the soulmate away because you're like afraid, is what I'm getting. Okay, another meaning that I got before too is about, you need to be protective of your energy and your time and your worth and your life path and purpose. Okay, so what I mean by this is that for some of you, okay, if you are resonate as a light worker, as a healer, people are going to want to take your time, your energy, your focus, because they see your light, they could sense your light, they feel your light, and they feel good, you know, like being around you, or like, you know, when you give advice or being around you. And especially to toxic people or energy vampires, they're like, oh, they're going to take as much as they can and they're not going to let go. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to like make sure that you stand in your power. And I think for most of you, like, you have done that. You've done your work with this protection and with this cauldron, this energy and the healing. I feel like you're already strong. But I think there's still things that you're either protective of, and you don't need to be so protective, in a sense, like you need to open up more. And then for some of you, it's going to be that you need to make sure you protect certain parts of you, because with this hidden talents, there might be like your purpose that you know, things that you haven't been doing, and it's because you maybe have been drained in ways, so you're not having time to put this forth. But this is going to be very, very healing for you, and this is going to expose the real you. And I'm being drawn to, like, with this cardinal, the cardinal is so bright, you know, as a bird, it's like this bright red. It's like cardinals don't go unnoticed. So I feel like if you are someone that stands out and people notice you, and you do have gifts to share, but you might have not fully exposed them, and it's either you're protecting them, or there's things that you still need to do, that you do need to be protective of this before you could fulfill what you're trying to do. And you know, that might not make sense to everyone. Again, you're gonna have to take what you feel is right for you and what resonates. Because also too, like, sometimes people, like, if they see, sometimes I don't believe in sharing what your plans are with people. Like, oh, I'm working on this, or this is going on, because if people around you are jealous, or they, you know, or project their own feelings of like, oh, well, you know, this won't work out. You know, it's like you are bringing bad energy into that connection. So whether that's your soulmate connection, your love, or that's your divine work, your healing work, your purpose. And that could like get in the way of you like mixing and creating this beautiful, with this cauldron, like this beautiful, life that, is coming into fruition. So you do need to kind of be protective of what you share with people. But then also there is this energy that you can't be so protective that you aren't doing anything about it. So I hope that makes sense. But again, it's like, it's going to depend on the individual who is watching. Okay. And then with the Blessed Bee cards, okay, you already know you have a blessing on a love. Like, so like, again, like this, maybe more of you are women, so it's like, hey ladies, look, again, like, this doesn't have to be a man. Like, if you are a woman that's interested in a woman, you're a man who's interested in a woman. It doesn't have to be like just for women, looking for a man. I mean, because it's just, but it's showing a blessing on your love. So whether, you identify as a he, a she, you're interested in a he or she, or either, like, it doesn't matter. It's just, you do have a blessing on your love. I always like to mention that because with cards, like when, king cards come out, queen cards come out, it doesn't have to mean like, necessarily a male or female, because also like it could be about the energies. And I'm not going to get into all that, but I just wanted to mention that this love doesn't necessarily have to mean, this man, it could be a, you get what I mean, a love. With this forgiveness, this could be about, if this was a partnership who you already know, there could be some forgiveness that needs to take place. For those of you who haven't met this person yet, there could be some forgiving that you need to do from past partners, or forgiving yourself even, because maybe you're like, why was I with this person or that person? Why didn't I see things sooner? So making sure you're having forgiveness and compassion for yourself as well as others. I always say forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for yourself. So even if it was someone who was toxic, you still need to forgive so you can move on, as well as, taking the lessons of like, okay, why was this person in my life? And then, being able to move on. And if this is a person that is coming back, who is a soulmate connection or is a spiritual connection, having forgiveness for them if you're wanting, to move forward with them. And with this blessing for a mother, okay, there could be some of you that could have mother issues, or maybe the partner coming in had mother issues. So again, it's like maybe if you were whether it was like maybe you had some parental issues with your mom, and that was something happened with your mom, and it's like there was healing that needed to be done for you to get this love. And I say, like, even if you had the greatest mom ever, like, there could be something that is needed healing, in an aspect, to your, because, like, for example, I'm just gonna, mention something from my own life to make sense of this, is like, I had an amazing mom, but she passed away when I was 10, and obviously that created, blockages for me in my own heart, and was something I had to work on. So as much as, I loved her and love her and have nothing but love and respect for her, and again, like, she was so amazing, but that didn't change the fact that I did lose her so young, and that did, create blockages in my heart. So again, take what resonates. But if you are someone that, if, just think about this. Is this you? Like, was there something that was preventing you regarding your mom, or you and your mom, from you having this partnership? And if it's not you, it could be the other person. Maybe they had some kind of mom issues, and then maybe they resolved them. And for some of you, there could have been a mother figure getting in the way. So maybe if this was someone that you already know of, or or if this was like someone you haven't met yet, maybe they could, I don't know, I'm getting like, like mother-in-law, and I'm not saying that's not for everybody, but definitely, like, there could be something like that. Okay, and for some of you, if this isn't about mom issues, for some of you, this could be about you are going to finally get to be a mom or a parent with this happy family. And for some of you, maybe you are a mom and you're a single mom, and you know, you've been waiting to draw this person in, and they're going to create, you know, you're going to create a life together with your kids, you know, and them, or your kids and their kids. So again, it's different messages. It really depends on you personally, because again, it's a general reading. So whether this is like you had some, you know, healing regarding your own mom or their mom, or you are a mom, or you want to be a mom and you're going to be. But ultimately, it's very beautiful because, again, you have the love coming in, the blessing for a mother, and the forgiveness. So you just have to allow yourself to forgive to be able to move on and move forward. Okay. So any messages from the tarot for my pile number 3 people? And I feel like this reading is so complete right now, but I still want to use this deck. So any messages for pile 3? Oh, wow. Okay. 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. So 9 of Pentacles normally is like the single independent woman to me. And again, it could be a single independent man. But the 9 of Pentacles then goes to the 10 of Pentacles. And then again, like there's this like happy couple and, you know, these kids and the baby and the animals, like the whole shebang. And like, so if you are someone who's single, whether, you know, you've been single for a while, or even if you, again, you're a single mom, you know, it's showing like you going from this energy of being single to going into this energy of this happy home, this happy partnership, this happy family. So definitely it is showing, oh, and one card just flew out, but that wasn't it. So yeah, definitely some of you could have been single for a while, and you're going to make the shift into, you're going to go from one extreme to the other for some of you. It's like, oh, I've been single for a long time, I enjoy my solitude, and then, oh, suddenly you're, you know, you have the whole family. Oh, and I'm getting for some of you, like, I'm getting some of you, I didn't even know I wanted that. So some of you very well could have never saw yourself like this, and now suddenly you're like, oh, I want that. Or maybe in the future you'll want that, and you're like, oh, wow, this took me by surprise. Oh, Queen of Wands. So yeah, like some of you could have been like definitely about like creating for other things in your life, like creating your own future and stability and like your career and just things you want to do in life. And definitely, like, again, that the single energy, like you're like, okay, but it wasn't single and I'm like, oh, I'm a single and looking. I'm single and I'm just doing all these things I want to do in my life. And then it's like, you know, you like with these flowers, it's like you've had success doing those things. You've enjoyed yourself, but there could be like ultimately something like your feeling was missing. You know, not that you were incomplete, like you were happy, but for some of you, like you could have underlining had this like thing of like, okay, well now what? I've achieved all this, or I've done this and that and the other that I wanted, and oh, and I'm being drawn to like maybe being burnt out. And it's funny because like with the dragon and then the blowing the smoke out. So maybe, yeah, some of you maybe could have like had fun in your single life, and now you're finally being like, I'm over that. I'm ready to like settle down, put down roots. Again, take what resonates. Okay. So the soulmate coming in if they're new. What can you tell me about the soulmate coming in if they're new? Okay, so for some of you, you could have been sad about someone you had walked away from before with this 9 of Swords. And there, you know, there could be this confusion, and then, you know, and this could have been a past event. So whether some of you could still maybe be feeling this energy within, but some of you, maybe this was a long time ago, and then you got to being very clear, to being secure and stable on your own. And then you're going to like get this, you know, promise of this new offer. So whether it's because you're hearing it from me now, or someone else has told you this, or, you know, when someone does kind of show up, and I'm getting at your door, but I don't know, you necessarily think it's like at your door, but again, it could be, who knows. And you might be like, and you might start to feel like a kid again, is what I'm getting. Like, I'm being drawn to how the Queen of Pentacles looks a little more like maternal or matronly in a sense, like kind of older, and then she has all the cats, so like, not to say like the cat lady, but like, and then maybe it's like, oh wow, like getting out of this energy, because maybe you could have been very like shut down from a past partnership, then you got so secure to being on your own, and then you're like, when someone's interested in you, or you have the soulmate coming in, you're like, whoa, like, I don't know, I'm just getting like this energy shift. And I'm getting like somebody taken by surprise. Okay, so this new soulmate coming in, Judgment. So you might not trust it at first, is what I'm getting. And you might just want to keep doing what you're doing. Like, and for some of you, it could be very well be something tied with music. So whether that person is a musician, plays music, or you both like the same music, because with the music in this card, I mean, that's not typical of a Judgment card, it's just in this deck. And again, it's like some of you could just be perfectly happy on your own, you know, being free, playful, joyful, and then someone comes in and you're like, to change all that, and you're like, I don't know. And it might be like that at first, and again, maybe that's why, like with this over here, like I said, some of it you might be really taken by surprise. You might be going from one extreme to the next. Okay. The Star. And we have the Star here. I love when like double, like in different decks, the same cards come out. Oh, so yeah, definitely with the soulmate energy, this Star, this definitely could be like, if you are a light worker, you know, like a star seed, like this definitely is like the person for you, or a person for you that's like totally on your level. And again, I'm getting about ascending, so that you could ascend with. Okay. So for those of you who know this person that's coming back in, and you're completing a cycle, and you could have this happy family, or this, you know, happy life together. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, there's still some past energy that needs to be cleared. I'm meaning like harshness, this coldness. I don't know, I'm getting like the flames of like passion were maybe like fanned out, like they were, you know, like whatever was like fire turned into ice, you know, like I'm just getting like these, you know, like I'm getting like, I'm hearing something about I'm going to turn around, like you don't want to go towards that. Okay, I'm just going to take the top 2. So we have 7 of Swords in the World. Yeah, you have to like, I think you or the other person, or both, you have to let your swords down, because you're just like harboring the past is what I'm getting. And it, again, this could be this non-trusting energy. But I like how like she's like holding on to these swords and looking at these swords, like holding on to all this shit. And then like in this card, she like just throws her hat up and she's just free. So there's definitely some letting go that needs to be done, that needs to happen. And for some of you, this could be like, this cycle needs to be completed with this one person, and then someone else will come in. So for some of you, this could be about 2 people. One, you know, person, something needs to be resolved with them, and then your soulmate or a soulmate could come in. And for some of you, again, it's just you're the new person, and some of you, that's this person that's coming back. So, okay. So for those of you, this person that you know of that's coming back, that you're going to be with them, what can you tell me about that? Six of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so if this is someone that you already know of that's coming back, that you're gonna, you know, try again with, it definitely like rekindling the past. And like I'm being drawn to like how there needs to be compassion there needs to be some sweetness there, and again getting away from that Five of Pentacles energy. And then this Knight of Pentacles, this is maybe like taking it slow, like taking it one step at a time, you know, not like going full steam ahead, just kind of being like, okay, like making it like, look at this offering to each other, you know, it's like, it kind of looks like she's giving the flower pot to him, but then he kind of looks like he could be giving it to her. I don't know. Either way, it's like maybe it's showing this exchange, this energy exchange, this offering exchange, and then you can move forward, but it's gonna, you know, maybe be more stable because you're gonna take it one step at a time, one day at a time. It's not gonna be like pedal to the metal. Okay, so if you go slow and steady, you know, you're open to each other, how is that gonna go? Ten of Wands. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you, it might not be the easiest, it might be hard, it might take a lot of hard work. Okay, but if you get past that, where are you gonna be with this person? Yep. Okay. Okay, so again, like, it might be a lot of work because the Seven of Wands, the Four of Swords, the Four of Cups, like, there might be a timeout that happens. So maybe you'll start kind of moving forward, but there might be delays to getting there. So there could be some, this could even be like within defensiveness. Like one person is like, oh, you know, still like in their head going over the past. You know, one person is feeling then defensive, and there could be some time apart needed. And again, this is just what it's saying now. So like, if you know this going forward and this starts happening, you know, okay, this could occur. So maybe instead of being on the defense or like worrying about what had happened in the past, I'm going to shift the energy so we're not going to be in this timeout period or the separation. Three of Wands. So yeah, maybe, you know, I'm getting like channeling your energy in a different way, because I'm really being drawn to like how, like with the wand, I'm getting like making the most of things. Okay. So like, don't be afraid to communicate, but also like, don't be on the defense. Like there's a difference between like, you know, it's like when you speak your truth, make sure it's from a pure place. And I'm getting like now about not harboring resentment. King of Swords. I'm getting like, okay, they could be a stick in the mud at times, or maybe that could be like, you might need to be patient with them. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so I think if like in this situation, if this starts happening with this person, you need to start just working on you and your life path and purpose. And it's really interesting because remember, we have the cauldron, synergy and healing, and this pentacle in the background, and then there's all these like bottles with a pentacle on them. So if you feel things getting destructive or going south, or that they're being a certain way, or, you know, don't be on the defense. Instead of maybe pull back your energy and just work on you and your life path and your purpose and what you're wanting to create. And also what, you know, makes you happy, because that could help shift the energy, because they just might have more work to do. Okay, so yeah, Five of Wands, and then Six of Wands, and then Three of Pentacles. So again, I think that's like, instead of like, and don't be in the energy of like, see how all these women are talking and it looks like very gossipy. Instead of like going to like talking to other people and complaining about them, like shift it to, again, your own work, because then this is going to bring you your happiness, success, and joy within yourself, because you can't rely on your happiness from someone else outside of yourself, no matter what connection you have with them. Yeah, okay. I know I'm going on a long time. This is going on a lot. Okay. So there's a lot. If this is a past person that's coming back in, okay, needless to say, there's a lot going on there. So I'm not going to keep going on just because already there's a lot of energies coming this way. But again, just this helps you navigate in case this does occur. And this actually is probably going to take you out more than a month. So, okay, so now I'm going to go to, if this person from your past comes back and it's about closing and clearing to attract a new soulmate. So one more card. Temperance. Okay. So again, just have patience. You're just gonna have to see kind of which way it goes. It's really calling for you to be balanced within yourself and being ready. And I like how she has one eye open. I'm getting like keeping your eye on the prize. So I think it's like, just taking the most of like this information and knowing like going forward what you can do to like stay in your power and just be balanced within and happy within. Okay. So any last messages for pile 3? I was hearing something about don't take off too fast. So again, like with the temperance, don't be so soon to like leave a person or situation if it's like there hasn't been that payoff yet, because you might be like getting out before the going gets good. And I think that's where the fertility and harvest is coming in. If you've planted some seed, but then you're just like, you know, okay, well, I'm just going to forget about it. And you planted that seed and you could be harvesting that. But, because then we got Lovers. So yeah, so don't leave before the going gets good. Because with this Queen of Wands energy, again, fire energy. So, and that was exactly what, at the beginning with 8 of Wands, I was like, fire energy. And the Temperance is sometimes this card of the Sagittarius. So, again, don't leave before the going gets good. See what happens, what plays out, what pans out, and make sure that whatever you planted, you know, you are ready to receive and harvest. So I hope that makes sense. If it resonated, you liked this video, feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment. And if this pile didn't resonate, feel free to choose another. And I also have other video readings as well. So again, I send you all love and light for October 2019, or for whenever you're watching this. Bye.